This video is all about corneal measurements. What instruments we use to examine the cornea, which part of the cornea each instrument checks, and how each one works. We will go through every instrument starting from the most basic, a simple torchlight, all the way to the most advanced corneal topography. Whether you are an optometry student or a clinician or simply someone curious about how eyes are examined, this video will give you a clear and complete picture. So let's get started. The first and most basic instrument is the simple torchlight or pen torch. This is the starting point of any corneal examination. Using this torchlight, we check the external appearance of the cornea, its clarity, transparency, and surface regularity. We look for any obvious opacities, scarring, foreign bodies, infections, or any visible abnormality on the corneal surface. We also check the corneal reflex by shining the light at the cornea and observing where the reflection falls, which gives us a basic idea of corneal shape and asymmetry. Simple, fast, and available everywhere. This is always the first step. The next instrument is the slit lamp biomicroscope, and this is the one of the most important tool in any corneal examination. The slit lamp gives us a highly magnified illuminated view of the cornea layer by layer. Using the slit lamp, we can examine all the five layers of the cornea: the epithelium, Bowman's membrane, stroma, Descemet's membrane, and the endothelium. We can identify corneal ulcers, aberrations, infiltrates, edema, neovascularizations, and degeneration that are completely invisible to naked eyes. With the addition of fluorescent dye, the slit lamp can reveal epithelial defects and staining patterns, which are critical in contact lens practice and corneal disease management. This is the gold standard instrument for detailed corneal assessment. The manual keratometer measures the curvature of the central cornea. Specifically, it measures the radius of curvature of the anterior surface of the cornea in two principal meridians. This gives us a corneal power in diopters and tells us the amount and the axis of corneal astigmatism. The keratometer measures a small central zone of approximately 3 millimeters, so it reflects the curvature of the central cornea. In clinical practice, keratometry readings are used for contact lens fitting, calculating intraocular lens power before cataract surgery, and for monitoring cornea changes in conditions like keratoconus. The autokeratometer or the combined autorefractor keratometer does the same job as a manual keratometer but automatically with minimal patient cooperation required. It measures the anterior corneal curvature and gives a reading in both radius of curvature and dioptric power along with the axis of astigmatism. This instrument also measures the refractive error of the eye at the same time, making it a fast and efficient starting point for both refraction and contact lens assessment. The Placido disc is a simple but clever instrument used to assess the regularity and smoothness of the corneal surface. It consists of series of concentric rings which are reflected off the corneal surface. If the cornea is smooth and regular, the reflected rings appear evenly spaced and round. If the cornea is irregular, distorted, or cone shaped, the rings appear distorted or uneven or compressed in one area. The Placido disc gives us a quick qualitative assessment of corneal surface regularity and is the basis of technology used in corneal topography. Corneal topography is the most advanced and comprehensive method of mapping the entire corneal surface. Unlike the keratometer, which measures only the center 3 meters, topography maps the full corneal surface from center to periphery, covering thousands of data points. It produces a color coded map of the cornea where different colors represent different curvature and powers. Warmer colors like red, orange indicate steeper areas, and cooler colors like blue, green indicate flatter areas. Corneal topography is essential for detecting early keratoconus, planning refractive surgery like LASIK, fitting specialty contact lenses, and monitoring corneal disease over time. This is the most detailed picture we can get of corneal shape. Corneal pachymetry measures the thickness of the cornea. The normal center cornea thickness is approximately 540 to 560 micrometer. Pachymetry is performed using either an ultrasound probe placed on the cornea or an optical method using the slit lamp or a topography system. Cornea thickness is critical for assessing glaucoma risk since thin corneas are associated with high risk of glaucomatous damage, evaluating suitability for refractive surgery, and for monitoring corneal edema in endothelial diseases. Specular microscopy examines the endothelium, the deepest single layer of cells lining the back surface of the cornea. The endothelium is responsible for keeping the cornea clear and dehydrated. Specular microscopy counts the number of endothelial cells per square meter, known as the endothelial cell density, and also analyze cell size and shape. Normal endothelial cell density is approximately 2500 to 3000 cells per square meter. A low cell count or irregular cell shape indicate endothelial compromise, which can lead to corneal edema and vision loss. This is a critical test before any intraocular surgery and for monitoring contact lens related endothelial damages. Anterior segment optical coherence tomography or anterior segment OCT gives us a highly detailed cross sectional image of the entire anterior segment, including cornea. It can measure corneal thickness, map the corneal layers, measure the anterior chamber depth, and assess the corneal angle. Unlike pachymetry, which gives only center thickness, anterior segment OCT gives us a full thickness map across the entire cornea, making it extremely useful in keratoconus, post-surgical assessment, and planning complex contact lens fits. The corneal aesthesiometer measures corneal sensitivity, specifically sensitivity of corneal nerve endings. The most commonly used type is the courgette bonnet aesthesiometer, which uses a fine nylon filament that is brought into a contact with the corneal surface. The length of the filament is adjusted until the patient just perceives the touch. Reduced corneal sensitivity is seen in cases like keratitis, diabetic neuropathy, and after some refractive surgeries. This test is particularly important in contact lens wearers as prolonged wear can reduce corneal sensitivity over time. So, to summarize everything, here all the instruments we use to examine and measure cornea. Torchlight for a basic external examination and surface clarity. Slit lamp biomicroscope for detailed layer by layer examination. Keratometer and autokeratometer for central and corneal curvature and astigmatism. Placido disc for surface regularity assessment. Corneal topography for full surface mapping and keratoconus detection. Corneal pachymetry for central corneal thickness measurement. Specular microscopy for endothelial cell analysis. Anterior segment OCT for cross-sectional imaging of corneal layers, and corneal aesthesiometer for measuring corneal sensitivity. Each instrument checks a different part or a different property of the cornea. Together, they give us a complete picture of corneal health. I hope this video gave you a clear understanding of how we measure the cornea and also what instrument is used for what purpose. If you have any questions about any of these instruments, please drop them in the comments. I'll answer everyone. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to iCareOptum. I'll see you in the next video. Click, clack,